Sup? Hey, I got another one of these. Yeah, I got an Olight here. This is an Olight OCLIP Ultra. And man, I'm super excited about it because I just love the other Olight that I did. You know, Timber's Edge Knives is starting to carry these. And man, I am fast becoming a huge fan of the Olight product. I dig it. You know, back in the day, I remember when Streamlights kind of came on the scene and became the hot ticket. And, you know, I owned a bunch of them. But this is next level stuff. And I think I said in the other video of the Arkfeld that I did, um, you know, give a dude like me a flashlight or a knife for Christmas or Father's Day or whatever, and I'm a super happy camper. Yep. I was gonna say that was magnetic, but I don't think so. Nah, it's not. It just was kind of stuck. I do think that I have to charge this, would be my guess. That's what I had to do with the other. Like, it doesn't come charged. So I think I want to check and see. Yeah, so just like the other one, I know absolutely nothing about this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on the charger. I did want you to see me taking it out of the box. What do we got? Got another thank you card, and then here's the bottom line. It ships in lockout mode. Use it the first time, press and hold it about 2 seconds, and then fully charge it before first use. I mean, makes sense. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time here dilly-dallying around. Let me look at this charger port because I may have one of those, which I do. So I think, let me see. Maybe I'll just take this one out. Why not? Come on, man. Let's take that out. And we'll get this thing on a charge, and then we'll come back and run it through its features. I'm also we're gonna do some work in the dark with this one that I didn't do with the other one, but I definitely want to do with this one. You know, we'll take it outside and see how far it projects and, you know, run it through its paces. So when we come back, which will be like that for y'all, this thing will be charged up and we'll play with it. It'll be fun. All right, be back in a snap. All right, well, let's see what this thing can do. I think I've got some porch lights on here. I do. And so it's lit up pretty good. Let's get rid of that. And we'll do that right there. And whoop, we're in the dark. All right, let's get at it. So we are completely in the dark. I've got the light here. And I'm going to go ahead and let's see. Let's get here. I'm going to turn it on. So this is the moon version. That is not the moon version. This is the moon version. Hold on. There's the moon version. And look at the amount of light. Like if I was using this to light my way, I will tell you this, the camera is making that seem a lot lighter than it is, but I could absolutely navigate a trail or, you know, make my way through the woods with this small amount of light that this is producing. But the camera really, really emphasizes that, so I have to kind of throw that out. The next setting, I mean, the camera makes it look like a floodlight, but it is throwing a fair amount of light, 20, 30 foot, maybe 30 yards. I mean, I can see like all the way down there to the travel trailer. It's not super precise down to there, but that's probably 45 or 50 yards down there. Yeah. And so then the next setting is high. And I believe this is considered 300 lumens. And I mean, it's rocking it. Yeah, very nice. I mean, look, it's lighting up the garage way over there. If I take that off, you can see the little night lights, security lights. But if I bring that light to bear, I mean, you can see a lot of detail a long ways away. Can definitely see my well house and the travel trailer down there with a lot of detail. Now, the interesting thing is those aren't even the highest settings. So it's got a whole nother lens here that's like a flood, or a spotlight versus the flood. So I can toggle, and I'll go through that toggle switch inside. So here's the flood lens, and then here's the spot lens. Well, that spot lens on the moon setting, I mean, that's crazy how focused that is. You can see it all the way down there on the garage. I mean, it sends that quite a ways. I'm going to focus back down there, almost 50 yards down there to that trailer. Let's go to the next setting. Look at that flood. I mean, or spotlight, not a floodlight. Look how bright that is. That's crazy. You can see my other barn down there. That's insane how bright that is. And it's not even the big setting. Here's the big setting. Boom. Man, look at the detail. Super impressed with this little light and the amount of light that it throws. Look at the detail down there at the barn and over there at the garage. It's crazy how bright that is. Yeah. Nice. Now we're going to go over how long you can run in these modes. But I mean, I have full-size flashlights that do not perform that well, that don't throw that much light. And this thing is, I mean, it's the size. It's crazy how small this thing is. All right, well, we'll go back in, and I just wanted to illustrate the amount of light that comes out of this thing. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to grab my Ultra and run through it real quick. I know this isn't the video for it. This one's on the little clip light, but that I want to show that one at night. I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back out here, and there's the laser pointer. Let's see. You can see it. There's all the way down at the barn, and then all the way down there at the trailer. And I don't know how far this thing will go, but I think it'll go farther than I can see. Yeah, there it is, way over there. I mean, we're talking maybe 100 yards away. That thing is. Let's get to the light. So there's the moonlight on this one. Or wait, I think that's the black light. Hold on. There's a LED. Okay, there's the moonlight on this one. And the moonlight on this one, I think it runs for like 15 days or something. I know it's a long time. Well, there's the low. That's the low flashlight. There's medium. I mean, look at how this thing's coming in now. There's high. And I think if I hit it twice, there's the flash. Yeah, it's terrible. I'm sitting here fumbling around. I'm trying to find the turbo mode. Look how bright that is, man. That's crazy. So look at that down there. There's turbo. Look how bright that is. That's crazy. I mean, it's kind of misting here. Yeah, so that's that Arcfeld Ultra, and it's insane bright. And then the run times on that thing are nuts. Absolutely insane. Let's see. I've still got the moon mode on. It's a strobe. Yeah, very cool. This one you can clip on your hat and it faces forward. So, anyways, that's enough of that one. When we come back, we'll be at the bench and we'll talk about the features of the little clip light, the Clip Ultra. All right. Okay, well, we're back inside from being outside, and we're going to do a final assessment on what I'm finding to be an amazingly good little flashlight, this Clip Ultra. And I guess it's the OCLIP Ultra. And I have had a chance. It's been a couple of days since I actually was outside. A bunch of storms rolled in, and so I did not finish that video. But I've had a couple of days with this, since then, and I've gotten back to wrap up on this flashlight. And man, I can tell you a couple of things I want to mention. So they come with these instructions, and they're fairly involved. These are, this isn't your grandpa's flashlight. Now, I say they're fairly involved, but really almost the whole operation of the flashlight is right here. This little section right here lays out the full operation of the flashlight. Where you can turn these buttons. This is the flood. I'm sorry. This is the flood straight up and down, and this is the, well, heck, I'm going to have to look now. So this is the flood. The flood's the front one, and then this is the spotlight. And then back here is the ultraviolet. And that thing's pretty cool. But all of the functions for this are covered basically right here in this one section. Now, there's a lot of other information, run times, that are up at the top of these instructions. And the run times are pretty crazy. I want to try to zoom in, and I could tell you I'd never remember them. And so anything I would say would not be accurate. So I want to be accurate. But there's a turbo mode that is super bright. One of the things I do want to do is I want to use the moonlight to read this, because the interesting thing about the moonlight is how long it runs, but then how bright it is. So that's the flood or the spotlight moonlight. And if I just turn it, once it's on, if you turn it, you can just go to the other setting. So there you can see the spotlight's gone, and it goes to a floodlight. And I will say, I said this in the outside video, that the camera really intensifies how much light this is. It's not as much light here outside of the camera, like the camera lens adjusts for the lighting. And so it makes it look super bright. But it is bright. And here's what I want to say. I want to use this moonlight to go through these specifications, because in reality, this moonlight version here, it is enough to read a map in the dark, like complete darkness. It is enough to light up a path to walk through the woods. I mentioned that when we were outside. It's like, well, that's it. I mean, that's enough light going on down there that, I mean, you could walk through the woods at night, complete darkness, no moon. This could provide enough light to navigate, and definitely enough to read a map, read a note with, a low visibility profile. But here's the more important thing that it does. If you look at the moonlight, the time down there, It's 1 lumen, and it runs for 144 hours. Are you kidding me? One charge, and you can have that much light continuously for 144 hours. That's insane. If I go to the low setting, that's the low setting, and it's legit. I mean, when we look at the lumens, it says it's 10 lumens, but it'll run for over a day in that format right there, and that's the flood. Here's the spot. Yeah, yeah, and that spotlight. I mean, I could definitely use that for detail at 30 yards, 25 yards. I mean, there's a ton of light coming out of there. And if I sound impressed, it's because I am. I mean, golly. So here's the flood on the high setting. And I can run, that's 300 lumens. It will cut down after 10 minutes. It'll cut down, it'll use up to 60% of the power life. Once the battery's down to 60%, it'll run for 80 minutes. So over an hour on this setting. And it's ridiculously bright. Like you could, I don't know, you could change a tire, you could fix something. I mean, it's a ton of light, that 300 lumens. And then the turbo knocks it down, it'll run for 1 minute at 530 lumens. And once it's, after a minute, it'll be below 60%. But then it'll still run for over an hour. It'll run for 50 minutes. And then at 19 minutes, it drops in power when it's down to 19%. And it'll run for 30 minutes more. These run times are just awesome. The fact that it's a rechargeable light, and I did find a couple other things. So I mean, golly, this thing, and then the turbo, boom, look at that thing. That's crazy amount of light. I mean, that spotlight. I have full-size lights that don't throw 600 lumens. I mean, they say they do, but I think they overrate their stuff. I'm going to go ahead and turn this off. There we go. Turn some lights back on. Those run times are incredible. It does have a power indicator on it. If I turn that, see it's green, it's telling me that it's still above 60%. And it'll flash a couple of times and change to orange and red if it's not charged. It's also got this hat clip or a shirt clip. I can put it on a shirt, just clip it on my, right in the collar of my shirt. Here's where you it's a C charger, USB-C, which works for me because I have Samsung equipment, so I have a bunch of these C chargers all over the place. This is kind of a weird deal. I thought it did something, but it's kind of hinged like a little switch, but it doesn't do nothing that I can find. It's just hinged, so it sucks it back in there. Yeah. Nifty. But yeah, and it charges relatively quick. I don't have the measurement and the time that it takes to charge. And then I found out that it's got a really strong magnet right up on the top, right there. Well, that's titanium. How about I use something metal? Here, how about this blade? There we go. And so it's strong. Look, I can't just like shake it off. I could shake it off if I went hard enough, but it's got a really strong magnet. So if you had to put it under the hood of your car, or you know, if you can find something metal, you can stick that on there. It's got a good magnet on it. I like it, and the clip is nice and strong. It's got like a rubbery texture on the inside, so it clips, it holds. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think of what else I would mention on this. I guess I'll mention price and availability, but I really like it, and so much so that I really like that Arcfeld Ultra, but I think I like this more. I mean, I'm just talking personal preference now. If you liked either of them, I will say this is that I'm going to be extremely encouraged to get Timber's Edge to start carrying several of these. And the ultraviolet light, it's legit. Of course, the first thing you do with that ultraviolet, and it's bright. It's no joke. I think it's like 800 lumens. Look, is that liver spots? I don't know. Yeah, yeah. But it is super bright, and so there. Yeah. And so, of course, the first thing you do is you go check your bed, right? to see to see if you've got what is it, bodily fluids or something. I don't know, man. But yeah, very cool. I tell you what I did with it. It wasn't the first thing I did. When I was outside before I came back in, I looked for scorpions because we have scorpions where I'm at, and they're supposed to be ultraviolet, and so you could see them with a UV light, but I didn't see any. But it was raining. If you go back to that portion of the video, it was raining outside. So yeah, come on, man, this thing very cool. I'm gonna break down price and availability, but I just can't tell you how much I like it. And it's interesting because these products have been out for a really long time. Like, it's not like they're new to the market. This is probably, I don't know, the third or fourth version of this little clip light. And same thing with that Arcfeld. I think that's like the fourth version of it. Yeah, very cool. All right, how much are these? Okay, so the price on these, they're listing for 49.95, basically $50. But I think where you find these, there'll be a link down below to the Olight site, and you can, if you'll subscribe over there, you can get 10% off, just like if you looked for it over at Timber's Edge Knives. You'd get the same discount there. Yeah, so pretty cool. I wanted to cover a couple of things real quick before I forget. So you can, it's got the O aluminum, which is stronger than basic aluminum shell. And so you can drop these from 1.5 meters. It's IPX6 rated, which means it'll take a high blast pressure spray, which more importantly, like if you clip this on and wore it out in a driving rain, it's rated to withstand that. It's not rated like the Arcfeld Ultra, where you could drop it in, I think it's like 3 feet of water for up to, I think, 30 minutes. Don't quote me on that. But I think that, I'm going to back out just a little bit. But I think that being able to withstand a heavy rain is still a great feature on it. It'd be great for hiking and on the trail. Yeah, so I wanted to point out those things. And I think it takes like just a tick over an hour to go from completely dead to completely charged. Yeah, so the Olight OCLIP Ultra, really cool. And I like it a lot. And so much so that I think I like it more than the Arkfeld Ultra. Now, the Arkfeld Ultra is pretty awesome, but there's just something about minimalistic. I mean, if you was a backpacker, I mean, to just clip this on your backpack and have that available with the amount of runtime, yeah, these are legit, man. Olight. I can't recommend them enough. I dig it a lot. Yeah, look for them down below at the Olight site. You'll be able to click straight over to them. With the 10% off if you subscribe. I think, 45 bucks. I mean, come on, man. I've paid that for plenty of flashlights. And then watch for them over at Timber's Edge because I think they'll be carrying them over there as well. Appreciate y'all watching.